What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. I wasn't lying in the last video. The brackets for these coilovers, they're right here. We're throwing it back with a name you haven't heard in so long. Skyjacker. Everybody's got to remember the Skyjacker name from back in the day. And it's honestly a company a lot of people forget about. But when I go down the list of trying to find products and I go down the list of them all. And surprisingly, Skyjacker makes a 3.5 to 6 inch coilover bracket for a Jeep JL. And I said, done. Let's see what we got. Oh, they give you the windshield sticker. Are we throwing it back, y'all? Are we throwing it way back or not? So these are for the rear. I'm just looking at those coils. Those are so long. Resi holders, full bolt-on shock tower, shock spacer. At the one for the other side, lower brackets, and then obviously the other resi holder. So this is actually what was pretty cool, and I also liked about this. The Skyjacker kit came with the resi mount that you literally drill into your frame and it holds it. So that's pretty sweet as well. Also from Skyjacker. Now here's the front bracket. And here's the other front bracket. The best part about this is the mounting location of this is actually about 1/2 inch to 1 inch lower than that other bolt too. So we're gaining another inch, which is pretty darn sweet. And over here on this side, it's actually quite interesting. I never even noticed, but the washer fluid tank is right here. The little hose gets close, but obviously after the shock's actually off and this bracket's bolted in there, it'll be back far enough. Shouldn't cause us any issues. So to make things even better, these do not fit, as you can see right here. No matter what I do, it's not going in there. The coilovers I have are for 8.5" mounting area. Well, Fox has 2 part numbers. There's these, and then there's ones that are pretty much you take 1/8 of an inch off of here, and it'll give you your 1.25" mounting area. So I'm seeing if I can get these milled down 1/8 of an inch. If not, I can order them. Summer Racing doesn't have them in stock, but a couple other places seem to have them in stock, but I need to order 16 of them, which sucks. If I want these to work, I'm gonna have to do it, so I'm checking my options out right now. And we also got a completely aesthetic piece to this Jeep because it's hauling nothing. And here we have a Curt hitch for the Jeep. They're stupid easy to install. It's 4 bolts. But I want to get this so I can powder coat this purple as well and have, just another touch of purple underneath that rear bumper all up in here. And I think that's going to look really good. I was just making sure it was the right length bolt because it didn't feel like it, but. We're making headway on a lot of things over here. We got our powder coating rack going up. A couple things we gotta do here. Obviously we gotta put the cross members in, get those up there, weld those. Pretty much come in here and do a little support action there. This thing's pretty mint, so happy with that. When they're supported sideways, obviously it'll support more weight, but the reason why we got that together so quickly and randomly out of nowhere is because of these right here. These need to be powder coated black. So we're gonna get these sandblasted with the lift kit, and this will be our first run in the oven. These are going black. Lift kit's going illusion purple, and then also we've got a variety of other things that are actually going in that oven very soon. So because we're doing something that nobody's really ever done, like I said, 8-inch Super Duty lift, Jeep Wrangler, we're gonna be putting these on, but right now I have no idea, zero idea. It's gonna sit too tall, too short, not enough, too much, who knows? I have no idea. So that's what we need to do, and in order to test it, we pretty much have to put kind of the full lift kit on. Jeeps are easy, so that sounds like a lot, but it's really not. I gotta take all this stuff off. We're gonna get the coilover brackets mounted in there. Not actually, I mean, we'll bolt it with 1-2 bolts just to test, and then we'll set this side on the ground, and we'll do measurements before and after. As long as the front's good, the rear is definitely good. So that's what we're going for. We gotta zip this thing apart real quick, get all these things bolted up, and we can see how tall this Jeep really could be, should be, and will be. Come on. So honestly, that was super easy. We didn't drill any of the like support holes, so it's just kind of in there right now. Like I said, we're just checking height. This thing, the way it sits right now, is decently bigger, especially this gap. Now, I forgot to measure beforehand, but that's besides the point because we got to put this thing back to stock anyway. Just by looking at this, we've got significantly more clearance, which is good. Everything's good. Now knowing what we're doing, I don't know if this was in the instructions or not, but we're gonna have to trim this upper bucket. That seems like consistent across most installs of random things, so the spring doesn't come in contact with it at any point during just normal driving. But super easy to get that thing mounted in there. Honestly great, love it. Can't wait to actually bolt this thing in for good. And then the next thing, I think a lot of you were worried about this spring rate and all that because this was for a Super Duty, that coilover, but this is just me lightly pressing on it. And then, and I can even adjust the, because I think those, the low speed and high speed compression are way not even tuned. It's still in the bubble wrap, so I can tune those things all the way down, and the low and high speed compression should be a lot softer, and I have a feeling this thing's gonna ride pretty good. So let's see how much lift we actually achieved with that Ford 8-inch Super Duty lift. This guy right here is actually at 6 inches. So all in all, putting that coilover on there with that preload gives us about 3.5, 4 inches of lift, give or take. Obviously the thing's gonna even out. It don't seem like 3.5 inches, but oh man. Yeah, that's most definitely at 6 inches, so it ends up being about 3.5 inches of lift. I think when we reassemble it, we'll actually maybe take that measurement and crank it maybe another turn and a half and get us to sit at 4, because like I said, that suspension rode really well. Just me compressing it for that spring rate and all. So my experiment gives us the lift we needed, and we've got the components to match, the whole 9. So this should be pretty, I don't want to say seamless, but it's turning out good. So I'm gonna check the preload on this coilover at the moment, and we are at, that against there, we're at 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 and 5/16. I mean, if we put this thing down to 2.5, we would totally be up in the air, but we're gonna at least keep it at 2 and 5/16. If not, we'll bump it to actually 6/16, 3/8, that'd be dope. And I think we'll be sitting exactly where we want, so that's cake. The way I had these mounted, I didn't have the bushings in here. They're actually getting milled down because that was cheaper than buying a whole new set of the thinner bushings. This actually might end up being perfect because there was a little bit of play in here. The bolt wasn't exactly the same size as this hole because the bushings we have, they actually reduced the bolt down. So that gives us another, like, I'm gonna assume 1/4 inch or so, but 1/4 inch suspension wise probably equates to like 1/2 inch. So when it's actually bolted, I think we'll actually be at 4 inches of lift perfectly. And that's actually quite amazing that I don't have to do a thing to this. I could bolt these on right now with Skyjacker brackets and a BDS 8-inch F350 lift, and this Jeep will lift itself 4 inches perfectly. I'm gonna call that a success, and I think I can retire now. So that pretty much wraps up all the R&D on that Wrangler we needed to do with kind of what we had, what we were trying to make happen, and it turned out perfectly, surprisingly. Probably couldn't do that again if I tried, but that thing's gonna be huge. It's gonna look so dope when it's done, especially with that coil in there, the resi mounted. I could tune it the whole 9. Honestly, I think I'm gonna end up keeping that a lot longer than I expected because that's gonna be so sweet. Other than that, guys, these wheels are ready for powder coating. Our powder coating rack is almost done. A couple more things we'll weld up in the next couple days here. Just get this thing done because like I said, we don't need it now, but getting a head start on the rack. So when all these parts come back, we can literally just throw them in. If you guys enjoyed this video, shoot a thumbs up. If you haven't been here before, please get down there, click subscribe. Drop me a comment if you haven't already. Tell me what you're thinking about this build. Other than that, take care, and I will see you guys in the next one.